Hello, World of Tank Blitzers. It's a Littlefinger. Happy Friday, April 2nd. Yes, and time for another store review. I think this will be pretty quick. If you have this pop-up offer, spring sale, 2,000 gold plus the PZ S35, which sells for 1,200 gold. If you were to, just buy and sell the tank, you'd end up with 3,200 gold, which for $7 works out to be 457 gold per dollar. You're also going to get an additional 7 days of premium time and the 10 5x boosters. So really, this is a decent deal. Provided you're in the mindset of selling the tank. The tank itself is not that great. We'll see here. So if I go into sell, there you go, proving that it sells for 1,200 gold. Um, so not a bad deal. As you know, we use 350 as our baseline. Anything above 350 per dollar, we consider it to be a pretty good deal. Nothing new really in the stores this week, which is disappointing. I was hoping for some new tanks. New tanks. I want new tanks. Collect them all containers. So basically, you get however many containers, 15 here, 3 here. There's a 5% chance of getting a tank, and it could be any tank in this list. Some good tanks and some mediocre tanks. If you have most of these tanks, obviously you'd want to stay away from this. If you don't like the fact that you're only getting a 5% chance of getting a tank, again, stay away from the crates. You know, they typically don't work out well unless you're willing to invest a lot of resources in it. The M4FL10, I do like this tank. It's got the active reloading gun on it. Has got some decent DPM, especially when you can get 3 shells off in 1 second each, 2 shells, over 600 damage there. So a nice little bundle here for only 3,500 in gold. And then you start getting into these other things, like they're really trying to get people to convert gold into credits. I mean, guys, come on, get your premium time on and just play battles and earn your credits that way. You definitely don't want to be spending gold for credits. We talked about these two tanks last week. I do like the AMX 30, but being a tier 9 tank, it doesn't always serve, the greatest purpose. Like, you can't use it in tournaments and whatnot. And it's still pretty steep for 10,000. I mean, this would be a price that I'd expect to pay for a tier 10 tank, to be honest with you. And we have seen this tank sell for less. So you just got to be patient and wait for the deal. I do like the AMX, when you put it into the bundle here together for 1,500 gold. I mean, it's reasonable for these two tanks, but again, this is a nice heavy tank with some really good frontal armor. Still with 4 days left on the Matilda BP, which is a tank that I don't like, as I've said before. Very easily penned in the front of the turret here, so makes it for a very difficult playstyle. And then, of course, the Angry Connor has the highest credit coefficient in the game, but, if the traverse speed was better on this tank, I would say go for it. But the deal with this tank is you got to drive it backwards, and it takes forever to traverse 180 to get into a position to shoot. So it's a gimmick tank, and that's all it is. Don't forget, the battle passes. If you buy the $5 and grind and get all of your missions done each week, it's a good deal. You're gonna get fair amount of gold out of it, plus you're going to get the Explorer this month as a Cromwell variant, which I did the video on yesterday. Countless treasures here, guys. So you've seen these $100 bundles before. This one seems to be about the worst that I've seen, just because the gold here is only 25,000 gold. From my rule of thumb, we should be getting 35,000 gold out of this. Yeah, it's nice to get the 100 days of premium time if you're a person that doesn't have the premium time. But really what they're banking on is the person that wants to buy the credits. If you're in that situation where you need the credits and you were going to spend gold on it, this is a decent deal as far as the conversion rate plus the gold. But I think that's a very, very small market of people that are in that position. And my thought is You want credits, grind them. Get yourself a nice tier 8 premium tank that makes money that you like to play, and just to earn those credits the old-fashioned way, as they used to say. This deal here, as you can see, 8,500 for 23 bucks gives us 370 exchange rate, so it's decent. Maybe a little bit better than mediocre of a deal. So if you have to buy one of these threes, I would go for this one. This one, you can see we're getting down there into the $300, 300 gold per dollar range. Girls Underpants collection, yay. Gimmick tanks, all based on basically cartoon tanks, right? Based on tech tree tanks that we already have. So I do think some of the prices are steep. $10. If this was gold in my situation, sitting at over 100,000 gold, I would go ahead and buy these two here because these are the two that I don't have. But I'm not willing to spend $10 or $8 outright for these tanks because they're basically copies of other tanks we have in the game. And yeah, that's it. That rounds up the store this week. So Burning games, I guess it is. Make some money and have some fun. So with that, guys, have fun out there. Stay safe. Get educated. Littlefinger out.